Jaja have we back, and a shouting, oh Lord, I'm thankful, oh Lord, I'm thankful, it's you who give me health and strength.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. As you can see on your screen, if you have always been ready to strut your stuff and show some elegant style, this is your time, because there is a model casting call taking place for Tobago Fashion Coda, but also for Top Model Caribbean. Joining us this morning in studio is no stranger to the Now Morning Show. I have to say welcome back to Christopher Nathan, Fashion and Artistic Director of Fashion Coda 7. How are you?
Good. I'm good to be back.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so there are two castings taking place. Let's break them down. Let's start with Fashion Coda 7.
Indeed. So Fashion Coda is happening at the Magdalena Grand Beach Resort, and we are actually selecting the models today, and they will be doing some training between now and the show with me, because I've just come on board for Tobago Fashion Coda. So the previous artistic director would have selected the models before, but each director has their own perception of what the models should be looking like, etc. So that's why we're having the casting again. So a lot of the models who are coming to this casting today would have casted before for Tobago Fashion Coda for the previous artistic director. So, and they'll want to know why they're coming back. So that's the reason.
All right, and let's now walk through Top Model Caribbean. Before we get into that, because we have a little bit of familiarity with Fashion Coda 7, what exactly is Top Model Caribbean?
Right, so Top Model Trinidad and Tobago started in 2000, where we select models from Trinidad and Tobago who have international potential, and after training them, we post them and place them in the fashion capitals, London, Paris, New York, and Milan. And we've had quite a lot of success over the years. We have 13 models from Trinidad and Tobago working internationally, including Naomi Chinwing, Crystal Noriega, Dominica Mora, Anaya Beard, who is a recent winner, who just from Tobago, and she just won the last contest in Tobago, and is now based in Milan and Paris. So this time we decided to open up the contest. So not just Trinidad and Tobago. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been up the islands, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Antigua and Barbuda, selecting models from those countries to participate in the contest. It's a regional contest. And it's happening on September 6th at Napa. However, because the requirements for international models are so strict, I interviewed and screened over 600 candidates up the islands and only selected 3.
Wow.
So we will have a lot more Trinidadians in the contest. And the main reason is that the models up in the islands did not tick all the boxes. They either were tall enough but didn't have the right proportions, or they had the right proportions and they were not tall enough. Because for international modeling, the sweet spot is 5'11" for women and 6 feet to 6'3" for men. So getting that full combination was difficult up the islands.
I mean, it definitely is a challenge, that's for sure, because you're looking for some genetic blessings there that may not necessarily have been handed out to all. All right, so as you mentioned, the criteria internationally is quite strict. Before we get to that, let's talk about Tobago Fashion Coda 7 criteria.
Not as strict.
Not as strict.
So we're looking for all who want to model, come to the casting this afternoon. It's this afternoon, remember, at 4 p.m. And we will go until 7 or 7:30 at the National Library, Abercrombie Arcade, which is on Abercrombie Street. Come with your A game, because it is a casting, so come with your swag guys and come with your sass ladies. We want to see personality, so it's not just about having the right look, but you have to be able to project personality on the catwalk, because remember, you're actually merchandising the people's garments. So the designers who are showing at Tobago Fashion Coda want to see personality on the catwalk. So it's not just about a pretty face.
Yeah, very important. Now, as you mentioned, it's not as strict, so let's say a little bit more lenient when it comes to the criteria.
We're also looking for plus-size models. So plus-size models, even though you're plus-size, you have to be firm. So on the screen, we are seeing our top model winners from Trinidad and Tobago. Naomi Chinwing is there, Micheline Orkis, Dominica Mora, Crystal Noriega, Sarah Jane Jones. That's Naomi's debut at Paris Fashion Week when she did Yves Saint Laurent show. That's Crystal Noriega, who won in 2010, and that's the whole group from Style Week 2018. They came to judge. That's Naomi Chinwing walking for Versace at Milan Fashion Week. This is Sarah Jane Jones from 2018 winner, and that's Dominica Mora, our first winner when we started Top Model back in 2000. She's still modeling 25 years later in New York.
Stunning.
And doing amazing work at Elite Model Management. So those of you who think that you have what it takes, both male and female, please come to the casting today at 4 p.m. at National Library. When we select the models, however, we're going to put them through a boot camp.
Okay.
So from June the 1st until August the 31st, they'll be trained at NALIS, our venue sponsor, to get them prepared for international work. What I found is that the models who are working internationally from Africa, they don't last because I don't think they were prepared well enough for the rigors of the industry. So after about a few seasons, they retire.
So this is quite an intense thing, to say the least. Something to just keep in mind. It is quite rigorous when it comes to the training. All right. Is there anything in particular that those who are coming to the casting today need to bring with them? Perhaps wear, shoes, that sort of thing?
Thanks. The guys should wear fitted garments, so you can see their physique. Fitted jeans, shorts, T-shirt or a vest, and come with sneakers. And the ladies should come in short fitted garments because you need to see their extremities, need to see their arms and their legs, so preferably black, and walk with heels so that you can see how they walk with heels. So they can come in flats but walk with heels when they come in. They don't need to bring no portfolio and stuff, which was initially a requirement, and come with your A-game.
Something that's so important. So for those of you who are interested, you can go on down to NALIS this evening. Can you kindly remind us what time it starts?
Starts at 4 p.m. and we're going until 7:30, and it's on Abercrombie Street, the National Library, Abercrombie Arcade.
You know, one of the things that you would have mentioned, Christopher, is the success of some of our models from right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And it's something we need to share because many times a lot of people don't think it's necessarily a viable option.
Yes.
Do you have any words of wisdom for those aspiring young ladies and young men who are interested in getting into the industry but maybe nervous or not too sure where to start?
All right. Well, I'd like to point out that of that 13, we trained over 1,000.
Wow.
So since the workshop started as Cocoa Velvet International Fashion Workshops, we've had them year after year for secondary school students who are interested in the industry. And we put them through the training, and at the end, the ones who have potential go into top model competition. But it's difficult because there's a lot of rejection in the industry. One, it erodes their self-esteem if they're not tough enough. So those who are interested have to know that it's a difficult industry. And even the job itself is hard, because I'll give you an example. Naomi Chinwing, when she won Top Model in 2015, went to IMG Model Management, but she got a global contract. So she was represented by IMG New York, London, Paris, Milan, Sydney, and LA, which meant that she worked for the entire year from one territory to the other. She has done over 400 shows all over the world and on a plane from one city to the next. So it's difficult. And that's probably why some of the models end up being on alcohol and being on drugs, because they try to calm down when they're relaxing. It's hard.
It is.
So those of you who are interested in international modeling, make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into.
Something that's so important, and of course get that guidance as needed. Christopher, thank you for joining us. All the best to you and the team. I know you have a lot of work ahead of you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Christopher Nathan, Fashion and Artistic Director for Fashion Coda 7, speaking about a casting that's happening today. Make sure that you go and check it out, and make sure that you stay tuned. The Now Morning Show will be back in a moment.
Every day you're blessing me.